Howdy YouTube, so today I'm going to show you how to do after the clutch on a 96 Tacoma all the way up to like 2004. So you can see behind me I've already taken out my drive line. They're 14mm bolts, there's a bolt and there's a nut on the other end. They're really stuck on there sometimes, so sometimes you got to tap the drive line itself with a hammer. And after that then you got this carrier bolt assembly here for your drive line. It's two 14s there. Take this drive line out here. And then we're going to go after our four-wheel drive line. And that's 14mm bolts also. Get those out of the way. Before I raised it up and everything like that, I went ahead and I took off the shift linkage and stuff. Right. So after we got everything disconnected up there, I went and jacked it up. Now we're going to go after our slave cylinder here. There's two 10s up here. Get those two 10s. We're going to start disconnecting connectors. And after we get all our connectors loose, then we'll go ahead and we'll get the bell housing bolts that we can get to on the bottom here. We got 14s. Another 14 there. You can see my finger, and there's a couple on the other side. Then you want to go ahead and get your starter loose. And I'll show what to do. So, to make things a little easier on yourself, go ahead and take these 14mm bolts that hold your skid pan on here. And there's some underneath here. Take this whole pan assembly off so you can get to your bolts on the other side, your dust shield, and your starter bolts and stuff, and make it a lot easier on yourself. So now that the pan's out of the way, we got better access to our bolts here for our dust pan. You can take your dust shield off, I should say, and you got these 14mm nuts on the backside here, and you got 14mm bolts on the other side. So that's what you need to do to take those out. So now that dust shield's out of the way, after we got our bell housing bolts off, you can actually get a pry bar in between your bell housing and your flywheel, and that will actually help you push your transmission back. That's the easiest way to do it. So I got my slave cylinder, it's loose now. Next steps, you want to take, you're going to have some brackets, you're going to hold some wiring harnesses on. I'm taking this 12 off here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this plug out. Next steps, you want to go ahead and go after your starter bolts, which they're 14s, and I got like this long extension kind of system thing going on, so you get it broke loose. And both starter bolts are loose. Your next step is over on the passenger side. You've got two 17mm bolts going to hold this exhaust bracket on. And I've already broke those loose. So you're going to take this bracket out of the way. And then you're going to go ahead, and I think we're going to go after our two 14 or four 12mm bolts in here that hold this mount on. And then after we get those off, we're going to go ahead and take this mount and make sure our transmission is supported and let our transmission down and pull some bolts. So, I got my jack stand on my transmission. It's nice and chained down, so you want to make sure that it's chained down correctly and that it's not going to fall off, because it's going to make it easier for you to put it back in and for you to take it out. Next step, after you got it all hoisted up, you want to jack it up a little bit, take pressure off your cross member, and then take your four 14mm head bolts and nuts off, and then you should be able to pull this down and get it out of the way. Okay guys, so you can see way at the end there's a 17mm bolt. There's two 17mm bolts. You can almost see both of them there. And those are your last two remaining bell housing bolts. So I have my transmission kind of dropped down a little bit now that the cross member's out of the way, as you can see. And then I'm going to be able to go after those two bolts, and we should be able to pry it out of there and show you what our clutch looks like. So after you got the two bolts up top, I'm mistaken. There's one more bolt. If you're looking at it the right way, it'll be hidden by this. So it's right there, and that should be the last one, so you can pull your transmission out. Alright, so I got it out. So two main things is that this pins, dowel pins, they can be stuck, so you're going to have to be persistent with prying. And you can see on these, this one's kind of notched where it was stuck, because it was stuck pretty good. The other thing is this right here in your rack and pinion, you have to actually pry up and out in order to get the transmission out. So it's best if you have somebody helping you out, where you pull on the transmission and let it down while they pry up and they can get over this lip here. So now we're going to go ahead and take our 12mm bolts off of our clutch and see what our flywheel looks like. Stand in right there. Got one bolt left. Okay, so I'll hold that. Put these in my mouth. Not really. And then we got a screwdriver. We're gonna put it out loose. Here we go. Alright, so this is what the clutch looks like when we took it out. You know, it's kind of hard to tell through sometimes. You gotta measure it and look at it with a dial indicator to see what your thickness is. But this was slipping on the guy. You could see here on your clutch plate that you got some blue spots. So either it does a lot of towing or it's getting close to being bad. And then up here, got a whole bunch of blue spots on your flywheel. So that's a pretty good indication of slipping. You can take this and get this machined so you can it'd be nice and clean for you. You can get a new one, throw a new one on there. Out of YouTube. So that's how you do the clutch on your 99 Tacoma. It's from about when they did the model split from 96 all the way up to about 04 or 05. Not too sure when they went to the new body style. But that's how you do it. I didn't get, you know, me torquing the flex plate or the flywheel because my phone died. So the flywheel it's 63 foot-pounds for the flywheel bolts, and then the clutch itself is like 16 foot-pounds. So you just want to tighten it. If you're new to the clutch, tighten it in the star pattern, and then you want to take your little plug and put it in the middle so it lines up your clutch right. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate you guys taking your time every day watching my video, and hopefully this helps you be your own mechanic and save you a couple bucks at the end run. If you like what I'm doing for you, I'd save me a little bit of money. Just tell a friend, share my videos on Facebook, wherever, and I just appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, just give me a comment down below and give me a like if you want to. All right, thanks.